Hey guys, it's me, C to C. I'm back again. Sorry it's been a while. It's been a busy week. We got a new dog, and I've been busy with work and everything. But I wanted to start up a new podcast. We live on the Cobb. We live life on the Cobb here, and I'm happy to have you be a part of that experience. So, uh, anyway, the main idea for this episode is I don't know if you can see, you probably can, in the corner of the screen here, I have Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. And below is a list made by, it looks like Life of Devante. So shout out. And the list is going to be a versus match between the two. So Cartoon Network show versus Nickelodeon show. I'm going to tell you which one I prefer, if at all possible. If the shows are like neck and neck, I might have to look up which series had more episodes, because if one of them was running longer, or yeah, like how long they ran, then that'll be easier to determine then. But again, thank you guys for coming back and joining me again for this podcast. Sorry it's been a while. Let's get into it. Oh, and I have been streaming a lot more on Twitch lately. Before we get into it, I made one of my first Twitch streams was making this clownfish rug. It turned out quite nice. And I also hope you're enjoying the other rugs that I stapled to the wall behind me. I made all those too. So if you want to see me make a mini rug, let me know what kind of mini rug you want to see. And keep an eye out for me on Twitch. There's a link on the screen. Go ahead and give me a follow. I appreciate it. And yeah, I post all kinds of random tranquil content like my pets and me just doing things, making rugs, making art. Pardon me. But without further ado, let's get into this list. So, first off, we have Dexter's Lab or Jimmy Neutron. Now, Dexter's Lab is one of those shows that makes me go, dang, that came out a while ago. That was a good show, but that takes me back. Jimmy Neutron is a good show. It came out a little bit later, and definitely a solid show. Lots of episodes. If I had to guess, Jimmy Neutron probably has more episodes than Dexter's Lab. I'm gonna check that one out of curiosity. Let me see. All right, so there are 60 episodes of Jimmy Neutron. 78 episodes of Dexter's Lab. Wow, I was incorrect. I was actually incorrect. But Jimmy Neutron has more movies, because I think there were like multiple Jimmy Neutron movies, and I think there's only like one Dexter's Lab movie. For this one though, between the two, I have to go with Dexter's Lab. I think it is a little bit better of a show. Jimmy Neutron was really good, but a little bit too random and too far from the plot. Like that episode where they're like, I don't even know, they're out like hunting the Loch Ness monster or something. I was just like, what is going on? But yeah, no, I definitely, I think Dexter's Lab was a more a solid show. It's more of like a staple show. Let's go to the next one. So the next one we have Teen Titans and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, we are talking the original Teen Titans, it looks like, because it don't say Teen Titans Go or anything. Avatar: The Last Airbender was a great, great show. I don't even know if I saw all of it, but I know I saw more of that than Teen Titans. But I remember when both shows came out, um, like like separately. I remember like kind of what I was doing when both shows came out. I really liked them both because they were like dope drops from both cartoon companies. For this one, I would have to say Avatar: The Last Airbender though, because I grew to appreciate martial arts a little while after I like watched that. Because of that, I kind of wanted to get into that stuff. So that's kind of what helped me get the idea to get into that stuff. And Teen Titans was a great show. It had like a cool aesthetic and everything, and the characters were really cool. But when I think back to like childhood me watching Teen Titans, I almost feel like I was bored a little bit, like waiting for something to happen a lot more of the time. Where Avatar was a lot more fun. Let's see what we got next. Samurai Jack and Danny Phantom. We're gonna give that one to Samurai Jack. That's just one of my favorite shows ever in general. I think it was well put together and there were not enough episodes. I don't even know if I've seen every episode. I watched a bit of Danny Phantom and I liked it, but it was, I don't know. It just wasn't really for me. I mean, when you compare the two shows, like Samurai Jack is like they don't even need to speak. Like it's so visually stunning that like the characters don't even speak. They're just like doing cool things and there's like just ridiculous stuff going on all the time. Danny Phantom, it's a cool story. There's like it's like a sci-fi, fantasy kids show, but that's all it is. It is what it is. It was kind of actiony, but made by comedy writers and whatnot. But Samurai Jack gets it on this one. So yeah, so far, Dexter's Lab, Avatar, Samurai Jack. Actually, yeah, let me keep track of these because I definitely want to make sure to know which side won. Hold on a minute. Let me get my notes. Alrighty. One moment here, guys. Sorry about that. Dexter's Lab. So it was C N C. That's how I keep it. Because then I'll just know which side won, and then I can just reference that if I need to. Alrighty. Let's see what we got next. Cow and Chicken or Cat Dog? Now, Cow and Chicken, similar to Dexter's Lab, is one of those shows that just makes me go, man, that takes me back. And man, that used to be so hilarious to childhood me. I mean, I used to think that show was hilarious. They had some crazy visuals going on. Like, I specifically remember, like, they had to go travel inside of, I believe, Cow. I think Chicken had to go inside of Cow to do some. I'm sorry, that sounds way. It was like there was like an amusement park inside of her type shit, and he had to like go in there and like get something out of her. I don't know. He like shrunk down or whatever, like in Rick and Morty. But Rick and Morty, but yeah, like she like I remember there was like a part where she like flips Chicken inside out. I wonder if I can find a picture of that. Probably not, but like that show was crazy. Cat Dog was similar though. On the other hand, um, it had similar like kind of visually horrifying stuff going on, but not as much. They had a lot of funny characters in Cat Dog though. Both were pretty solid shows. Cat Dog I know had a good long run, and I believe they even had a movie or something where they were trying to find their parents. But I would probably have to. Sorry, hold on a second. I'm really bad at typing. So, first, let me see if they have it. No, I don't know if I'll be able to find that picture. Yeah, like Cow flips Chicken inside out, though, and it just looks crazy. Like, on the show. I'll try to find it in a future episode if I can. I'll throw it in there. But between these two shows, I mean, I really like Cat Dog and I really like Cow and Chicken. I'll probably give it to Cat Dog though, honestly. Probably got to give it to Cat Dog. I know it was just a nice long running series, and Cow and Chicken, I just don't really know what happened to it. I think I was like a little kid waiting for more and just never really got any of that one. Next, we have Ed, Edd n Eddy versus the Rugrats. Man, that's tough. Both are really good shows. I, I think these are two that like you're going to be a diehard fan of one or the other. I personally would have to say that I am a bigger fan of the Rugrats. I get a lot of joy from watching the Rugrats. and there are a lot of beautiful metaphors in that show and a lot of strong role models. And just like I like, I'm at a point in my life where, like, when I see just like a person on a TV show caring for their kid, it makes me like want to cry because it's what you should be doing, but it just, I'm like getting older, so now I start thinking about like all the people that I grew up with that didn't have like love in their lives and whatnot. And it just, it goes a long way to, like, I don't know, give kids love and just be good to them. And you see a lot of that in that show, man. That show, it's a beautiful show, the Rugrats. I almost forgot what I was talking about for a second. Great show though, well put together. And I'm not a fan of All Grown Up. Is that Rugrats All Grown Up? I'm not as big of a fan of that, but it was decent. But I would say Rugrats over Ed, Ed and Nettie. Some of my friends might hate on me for that just a little bit, because I know I'm friends with a lot of Ed, Ed and Nettie fans. But I still like Ed, Ed and Nettie though. I mean, I love that show. I would watch either of them like any day. Both are shows that I could watch anytime. We got Courage the Cowardly Dog or Invader Sim. Invader Zim, bro. That's actually like really hard. Like, if you told me that I could only pick one out of these two, because let me see how many episodes they had. Because Courage the Cowardly Dog, great, great show. Everyone loves that. But Invader Zim was also really, really good. And I think it was a bit underrated. I mean, a lot of people my age think that it's uh, a great show, but I don't know how like other like younger kids feel about it. So there was 52 episodes of Courage. Excuse me. And 27 episodes of Invader Zim. That's what I'm saying. I mean, ultimately, Courage is the better show. It is. Just double checking count. 3, 4. Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog on that one, though. Great show. Great, great show. Invader Zim is an awesome show, though. It could have gone further. It just didn't. I'm sure there were reasons why. It was a bit, both of these two shows definitely overstepped their boundaries a few times. So I'm sure one got canceled before the other, or had, less reasons to be canceled or something. But next we have Powerpuff Girls and Fairly Odd Parents, and that's definitely going to Powerpuff Girls if it's between those two. Fairly Odd Parents is a great show, but like Danny Phantom, it's just not really like, some of these are like, I don't know, you get like serious metaphors out of them, and I just don't. And, it's sad that Timmy doesn't get attention from his parents and has like the verbally abusive babysitter, but I feel like he got a lot of his problems solved by just being lucky and having Fairly Odd Parents. So, it probably wasn't that bad. I wonder if when he turns too old to have the Fairly Odd Parents, if he forgets. I mean, he obviously forgets that he like knew them, but I wonder if he forgets about like all the good feelings that he had, or if it just defaults to like, oh, I had a regular upbringing and regular time as a teenager, and like there were genuinely good times that he's just like fully going to miss out on. Like, your memory gets wiped. Like, imagine if that happened in real life, if something like went on like for certain people, and like after the fact they could have the option to have their memory wiped of that. Like, wiping your memory would do a lot of things. Like, you go through a lot of different emotions throughout a typical day. It's not just like what's going on around you. It's, you're thinking about the future, your past, you're even like realizing things at certain moments that you've never realized before. And even though you might forget them sometimes, like even having that connection at some point might do something for you, might change you in some way. So I wonder what that would be like. Like that Men in Black flash gun thing. Like, that thing's crazy. That's crazy, man. Just having your memory erased. Nuts. Nuts. Anyway, let me make sure I added this to the list and we will continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yep, we're good. So next we're going to have Space Ghost and Rocco's Modern Life. Both of these, I have seen barely any of either of these. I remember Space Ghost being on TV, and I think my mom would watch it sometimes, but I wasn't really paying attention to it at that time. That was like late 90s, early 2000s or whatever. Rocco's Modern Life, like, I just don't think I was on Nickelodeon at that time. I didn't really get on until like Rugrats and whatnot. Actually, yeah, I think I didn't even know what Nickelodeon was or even watch Nickelodeon until my buddy at the time like told me to watch Rugrats. Like that show's great. But I don't know, man. Between these two, from what I know, let me see something real quick. Let me just look up Space Ghost. Because that was. Are we talking like. Yes, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. See, yeah, Space Ghost cartoon is just like Space Ghost. Space Ghost Coast to Coast was like the Adult Swim show, I think. But either way, we're gonna give it to Rocco's Modern Life. I like the flashy colors, and they did come back with a movie recently, and I think I watched part of it. It was decent. I didn't really know what was going on though, because I haven't really seen that one. But nah, I mean I like the aesthetic. That's one thing. Nickelodeon shows have a lot of cool, trippy aesthetics and colors. So we'll give it to Rocco's Modern Life on that one. Make sure to mark it on my list. Sorry about that. And let's continue. Now we have Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends versus Chalk Zone. See, I really enjoyed Chalk Zone when it was on TV, and I would say that I got tired of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends because of how much they showed it. But Chalk Zone probably would have done the same if it was on longer, because I know it got cut short from my own little memory of research that I've done on it in the past. By the way, I have not looked closely at this list yet, so I really don't know what matches are coming up. If anyone cares, I wasn't really expecting any of these. Out of these two, I would say Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends though, because it was a good show. It had real stuff going on. Mac's older brother bullied him, and he had there were like a lot of imaginary friends that were there because they were themselves abandoned. So like if you have like a parent that left you or are like adopted and like your parents gave you up or something and you have that resentment, you kind of relate to these characters, you know, who are orphans in a sense. And then you hear the stories of the kids throughout the show that imagined these characters, and the reason why a lot of these characters were imagined were because the like kids were lonely, or they didn't have a friend, or if they did have a friend, or if they had friends, then they just wanted someone to be more like them. And you know, we all kind of want that. I don't know if I had an actual imaginary friend growing up. I think I like said that a couple times to like my friends just to be funny, like, "Oh, I have an imaginary friend. He's right there." But I don't think I actually had one. But let me know in the comments if you had an imaginary friend. I'd be curious to see if I know anyone or if anyone's watching that had one. That'd be kind of cool. But I believe I did mark this one on my list, and we'll continue. So, next on the list is Adventure Time versus Hey Arnold. Now, I would say this is like it's another diehard one. Like you're going to be a diehard fan of one or the other in a sense of like Hey Arnold kind of embodies Nickelodeon in a way. Adventure Time kind of embodies modern Cartoon Network, I would say. Like Adventure Time and Regular Show, which I wonder if Regular Show is coming up. It probably is. I'm excited to see what that's up against. I couldn't imagine. This is a good matchup, though. I would say, personally, I would probably go with Hey Arnold. Adventure Time is a great show, but it's a little bit too out there sometimes for me, and I lack imagination surprisingly sometimes, and I just don't have the brain capacity to keep up with shows like that have that much going on. I don't really watch TV shows. I watch YouTube just as much as I'm on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. I watch YouTube like all the time though. I wish I was on you. I wish I was making YouTube stuff as much as I watch YouTube. I'd have so much content out. But no, that's it's a good show. I would say Hey Arnold would be the go-to here because yeah, they kind of embody Nickelodeon in my mind. I could always watch them Hey Arnold. There's such a diversity from episode to episode, and they're non-linear, so you don't have to watch them in order. Where Adventure Time, it's kind of you gotta know what's going on. At least with the later episodes, you know what it is if you've seen them though. Anyway, next one we got regular show versus Angry Beavers. Now, I'll go ahead and say regular show because I've seen it a lot more than Angry Beavers. I did watch Angry Beavers growing up a little bit. That's like an old show. Like you gotta be like older than me, like way older than me. Man, my eyebrow looks messed up. My eyebrow bushy, boy. That's a bushy. Look at that. Look how it like sticks up. That's messed up. I look like an owl. Anyway, I wasn't really. I vibed with Angry Beavers, but that's like people older than me probably like Angry Beavers a lot. Like that probably was their regular show. But I'll go with regular show. Regular show. I'm gonna just recount my list. Hold on. Okay, we're good. We're good. I don't want to make sure that I got all of my like every single matchup in there to make sure that we got an accurate read on which side wins. But let's continue. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy versus All Grown Up. Boy, I ought to smack the. Nah, I'm just definitely Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy there. Like Rugrats was good. All Grown Up, it wasn't terrible. Sometimes like it was cool because like it came out when I was younger than them, so like in a way I could like look up to these characters and be like, oh, this is what teenagers are gonna be like when I'm a teenager. But like, nah, like watching that as an adult, you're just like, why did they do this? Why did they do this? Oh man, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, great show. Yes, yes, Fit Burger, Fit Burger, yes. Hell no, man. What was the? I want to be the keeper of the Reaper. Nah, so many, man. Oh, like too many. Like remember when they like made a Dragon Ball Z parody and it was like they had to eat the chicken ball and it gave them like superpowers. Like what was that? Or like they did the Smurf parody where they were the schlubs or something. It was so weird. Like so many weird things. Or like that dude that likes Billy's nose, like Billy's nose jumps off his face and like this guy is like attracting all the noses to try to find the perfect nose to put on his own face, and Billy's nose is like his chosen nose, and Billy's just like, bro, give me my nose back. Like what Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, that's probably like one of the best shows on Cartoon Network. Faux show. Faux show. Make sure to add that. And we will continue. And now we have Steven Universe versus the Wild Thornberrys. I have seen a bit of Steven Universe, and I have seen a lot of Wild Thornberrys back in the day. I actually saw the Wild Thornberrys movie in theaters, like, probably not the day it came out, but like, you know, around the time it came out. That movie was pretty good. Love Wild Thornberrys. I love animals. As y'all know, if you've been watching my channel, go to my playlist and go to Sita's Arc playlist and watch all my animal videos if you haven't seen them. And man, I love my animals, and that was one of those shows. It was like Steve Irwin, Jeff Corwin, shows like Wild Thornberrys. That show, that Stanley show on Disney Channel, where he like go to a different geographic location, and there'd be like an animal there, and you learn about those animals, like penguins or pandas or lions and stuff. That's always cool, man. Animals are awesome. They just are. They kick ass. Be good to your animals, or I'll kick your ass. Anyway, on that one, Wild Thornberries. And I'll add it to my list, and we'll keep going. Now we've got Ben 10 versus Legend of Korra. Now, unfortunately, I've not seen any Legend of Korra, but I saw lots of Avatar The Last Airbender, like I discussed earlier. I saw a bit of Ben 10. I actually remember when Ben 10 came out. I thought it was kind of dope at first. Maybe like the first 4 or 5 episodes. I do remember them showing it a lot on Cartoon Network. But it was like during their their golden era before they like fell off for a while. It was one of their good shows for a while. I would give this one to Ben 10 because I have not seen Legend of Korra, unfortunately. If I've seen Legend of Korra, all my friends tell me it's dope, and I feel like I would think it's a better show because it's newer and it probably relates to people of today and people my age or whatever really well because Avatar The Last Airbender came out when people my age were like, or around my age were kids. But yeah, I'll have to check it out. Let me know if I should check it out or what episode from Legend of Korra is your favorite if you've seen it. And I might, check it out. Otherwise, just let me know what you like about it. Next, we have Johnny Bravo versus Rocket Power. Rocket Power was awesome because extreme sports are pretty cool, and it was a little bit ahead of the time on the extreme sports thing. There weren't too many shows with like kids skateboarding, though I do remember that old Transformers cartoon show that had like the kids with like a scooter and a moped and a skateboard that were like mini con Transformers, and that was pretty dope. That's probably a little around the same time as Rocket Power. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Johnny Bravo, good show, classic show, a bit repetitive, um in the sense of, I don't know, like the music, the background music. Wait, made by, or Seth MacFarlane had a hand in making it, which I think is interesting. People like throwing that fact out there, and that fact is an interesting one. I'll give it to him. I didn't know that for the longest time. Between these two shows, I would say Rocket Power because there was more variation between episode to episode, and it was a bit more modern. Obviously, that modern doesn't mean that it's better. Of course, that's not what I'm saying at all. Um, but it was just a way more actiony and, I don't know, better show. It wasn't really a comedy. It was like it was one of those shows that made you feel like you were somewhere else. Like if you were bored at home, you felt like you were out surfing with Tito and, or not Tito, with Otto and Reggie and them. Squid. Squid. Tell me what the N on Squid's shirt was for. I feel like that was a thing someone tried to say back in the day. Like they're like, oh, I bet you don't know, or like I don't know. I feel like he had an N on his shirt, and I I don't know what it stood for. Someone should tell me. I don't know. Squid from Rocket Power. Oh, let me put this on my list. So yeah, that'd be Rocket Power. And let me recount my list real quick before we continue. All right, I think we're good. And next we have Amazing World of Gumball, my parents' favorite show, specifically my stepdad. He loves that show. And then we have Doug, a classic from Nickelodeon. This is kind of a tough one. I would say I've seen both shows about the same amount. I remember when there was a Doug movie that came out when I was a little kid, and it was like they made it seem like he was gonna find like a lake monster or something, but I feel like he doesn't. I can't remember. I feel like, or maybe they like allude that there's one out there, but like they don't. They don't. I don't think they find it, bro. Amazing World of Gumball. I like how they mix the live action. It's like South Park kind of cutout animation looking, but then it's like CGI stuff and then like real live stuff all mixed together, and that's cool, man. It kind of reminds me of the backdrop I have set up in here now with all the random stuff I put on my wall with my mini rugs. Lots of colors. I like it. Like the piece of pizza, like that. You like that piece of pizza? That's a rug. It's like it's like this, but it's pizza, bro. You have to understand. Anyway, yeah, I would say Amazing World of Gumball. Amazing World of Gumball. Good show. It gives me a lot of the same feelings I was saying about Rugrats earlier, in the sense of, it gives you that reminder of how important family is. I like how these shows just have like good families in them, man. Good family messages without being a cheesy family show. Next, we have Chowder versus As Told by Ginger. That's almost like insulting. Not like one is clearly the winner over the other. It's just like I've never thought about comparing those shows ever in my life. That is so weird to even think about comparing those shows. As Told by Ginger was like a drama about like a preteen girl named Ginger on Nickelodeon. It's pretty good. It wasn't really a comedy, but there were funny things happening. And her little brother and his friend, like Hoodie or whatever the freak his name was, I don't know. They would always be like pranking her, pranking people, and they were like the comedic relief. Ginger was always like, "Oh, I like this boy, but he don't like me, or he likes this girl that's a bitch to me, or whatever." And it's like, some real stuff would happen in that show too, I think, and it would just, I don't know. It's like, why were kids watching that? It wasn't. I don't know, man. Like it was. I watched it sometimes. I remember liking it, but I was like, I don't know. I wasn't like watching it all the time. Chowder was funny though. I would watch that in the morning. I feel like Chowder was a bit short lived. They didn't have as many episodes as I would say that they should have. I like all the food themes. I like all the food names of everything that they have in that show. And Panini's crazy self. I'm not your boyfriend. He said, I'm not your boyfriend. Chowder, my love. I'm here to like you. Panini would just be, and then there was what was it? And lady Endive, didn't she like Mung Doll or something? And I don't know. That was a funny show though. I really liked it. I would say, mm, between these two shows, oh man, it's so. Oh, I don't know why I would have to ever pick between these shows, man. It's so weird. I would probably pick. Mm, oh, oh God, it doesn't feel right. I don't know. Let me think about this. Let me see how many episodes Chowder has. I mean, no, that's not gonna. It doesn't matter. Um, I would say Chowder. I would say Chowder over As Told by Ginger, just because I like Chowder. I don't know. I like Chowder a lot. Rada rada rada. You feel me? Total Drama Island versus Life as a Teenage Robot. Now that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. I gotta think about that. Life as a Teenage Robot. Robot's name was Jenny. She it was a That's an old show. She just wanted to be a normal girl. She had human friends, and she would have to stop doing normal girl stuff to save the city or whatever from like a bunch of aliens or something. And pretty funny show. Still cool though, actiony, robot with blasters, rocket launcher, and all that. Jetpack. That's cool. Total Drama Island. cartoon reality show. I mean, I watched it. I guess I liked it. It was pretty good. Between these two shows, I would probably pick Life as a Teenage Robot. I would say because Total Drama Island. If I had to watch, if I had the option to watch one or the other right now, it would probably be Life as a Teenage Robot. I also understand that the purpose of this list is probably just to like look at one side and look at the other and go, yeah, I'm Team Cartoon Network or I'm Team Nickelodeon. I'm not really doing that, obviously. I'm just kind of like seeing which side ends up having a larger percentage of shows that I like. But yeah, I don't know if y'all care. I just thought I would point that out. I guess it really doesn't matter. If y'all have any more lists like this, please feel free to send them to me on Instagram. Anyway, let's get to the next one. We're almost to the bottom of the list here, guys. I'm excited to see what we got. Camp Lazlo. Real Monsters. What is Real Monsters? Real Monsters. Oh, wow. I'm about to get my 90s babies card revoked. So, oh man, that's messed up, man. I'll pull up a picture just so y'all know. If you don't know, if you don't know what this is, just hold on. Just hold on. Oh, jeez. Hold on. That was not it. Oh. Jeez. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a picture pulled up and saved here for y'all. Alright. So that's Real Monsters, and I feel bad that I didn't know that that's what that was called, because I recognize that artwork. It's like unmistakable, and I don't know, man. I just kind of feel stupid now. I should just end the whole podcast. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, Camp Lazlo versus Real Monsters. I would say Real Monsters. It's good. I remember watching. I really just didn't know what it was called. Like, I'm stupid. I don't know. I'm not. I know nothing, you guys. I'm just here. I'm just here. I don't even get paid to be here or anything. Like, you got me. This is it. Like, you feel me? Anyway, we're gonna just continue. Next, we got. Oh, it's the bottom of the list. Oh no. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of the box. So we got Kids Next Door versus SpongeBob. I mean, okay, Kids Next Door was a great show, but I don't remember it having the best ending to the series. And overall, the episodes towards the end, I don't feel were as good as they could have been. It was a good concept, though. Good concept. We're going to go with SpongeBob, man, because, if I don't, Mr. Krabs will find me. But no. And I didn't say find me. He'll find me because he's greedy, wants the money. Me money. Hell no. But let me see here. So let me count up how many we had total. So there were 20 options to pick from. Let me see how many Cartoon Network I had. Oh, are you kidding me? It was literally a tie? No way. No way. No way. Let me see here. Double checking. Bro, I'm stupid. No way. It was literally a tie. Like, genuinely did not even like plan that or like know that's messed up. I feel so stupid, even though that's not like really my fault. I just feel bad because y'all probably wanted to see like one side win. Or it seems like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon are equally good. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let me. Yeah, man. I'm dreadfully sorry about that. I barely even know how to end this at this point. But yeah, man, it was a tie. Cartoon Network shows and Nickelodeon shows both have their pluses and both have their oh boy, their crapshoots. But anyway, we're I want to just switch it up for the rest of the podcast because we've been going about 40 minutes now. I'll probably be wrapping it up here in a little bit. I need to go get a drink and or grab a drink out the fridge, and I'm not trying to get up and go all the way to the bar to do that and leave y'all hanging. But go ahead and keep examining the list. And if you disagreed with any of my choices, let me know in the comments. Like if you feel like Chalk Zone was better than Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, then let it rip in the comments. Let me have it. Tell me why I'm wrong. I would love to know. I just think that'd be funny. I don't think Chalk Zone is better than Foster's Home for Imaginary. I don't think you'd be able to tell me that. But for the rest of the podcast and my other ones, I've been trying to think of like would you rather questions like on the spot that would just make you think like, man, like which one would I rather do? And like I'm just not good at thinking of them on the spot. It's easier when you have a person to think of them for you or like a some people to like help you think of those. And I figured that I would just start letting Lexi, my buddy Lexi, Instagram LC Money underscore, sent me some would you rather options for me to share with y'all, and I will try to decide between them as I have not heard them yet, and I'm curious to see which one I would like to partake in or avoid. Sorry, I lost the sandal. Sorry, one of my flip flops fell off. All right, so she gave me four options, four would you rather choices. Would you rather eat a jar of mayo or lick a public doorknob? One lick of a public doorknob versus eating a jar of mayo. Let me know what you think in the comments. Eating a jar of mayo, what would that even be like? I know people have done it. I ain't never even tried. Someone just tagged me in something. I don't know what this is. I hate when I get tagged in long ass posts. I would say it really depends where the public doorknob is. I would probably just lick the doorknob. I mean, that's gross. That's nasty. But I would just do it and then just try to like wash my mouth out, I guess. I don't think I could eat a jar of mayo. Like I think that's the point, I guess. I don't know. I wonder what she thinks. I wonder what Lexi would say. Number 2. Would you rather never have to sleep or eat? So yeah, if you never have to eat, then that means you can fall asleep really easily in a sense because you're not going to be like being hungry isn't going to like influence your choices or your habits. Like if you wake up in the morning after you didn't eat much the day before and you're like and the hunger like hits you, that wouldn't be a thing, so you would just have a perfect night of sleep essentially. if that were the case. If you don't have to sleep, then you just exist, though, and nothing is really stopping you from anything except the other necessities of being in a flesh suit, as we humans are.
Hello? Oh,
I ain't switch it off. But, for that reason, I would say I would rather never have to sleep, because if I didn't have to sleep, I could get a lot done. Like if I had no need to sleep, I could just get like so much done. And there's just not enough time in a day. Number 3 out of our 4 choices, would you rather fight a 10-year-old or a 90-year-old? I like that. I like that. I like that. Because if you fight a 10-year-old, you have to deal with the fact that you beat up a kid. If you fight a 90-year-old, and she didn't say beat up, like either of these could know how to fight or be able to hurt you. So, like a 10-year-old, if they really tried, I'm sure they might be able to hurt somebody somehow, even though they're a 10-year-old. A 90-year-old, I mean, they're 90. Maybe they used to be a martial artist. They could like really mess you up if they know the right technique and they can get close enough to you. Maybe. I mean, they're 90, so probably not. But either way, if you do beat either of them in this fight, then you have to deal with the fact that you beat up either a 10-year-old or a 90-year-old. I would say maybe a 90-year-old in hopes that they are like racist or something, and that, or like maybe try to like get them to admit that they've abused an animal at some point, or just like, I don't know, like if you can learn about them, see if you can learn something you don't like about them, because a 10-year-old is not going to have that. You're not going to be able to like tell me something about a 10-year-old that's going to make me want to fight them. But I don't know, man. If you told me that 90-year-old over there said the N-word, I might you know you know I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But yeah, I would say I guess I'd rather fight a 90-year-old in hopes that they're in great shape for a 90-year-old and ready to put up a fair fight and not just get demolished by your old boy with the hands on the cob. So, our final option that I have to select from is, would you rather be missing 2 toes or have to karate chop other people's food whenever they ate near you? That's so funny. That's so random. Would you rather be missing 2 toes? We're gonna just say, would you rather be missing both big toes? So like that would, your big toes matter for sure. I don't know, like, if you just could pick 2 random toes, I don't know if that would matter. Maybe. But having to karate chop other people's food whenever they ate near me, like you just see someone eating next to you and you just with like Spongebob with like the big old karate glove on, the big red man, I would have some fun with the karate chop. I would say I'd rather karate chop people's food when they ate near me. So yeah, I would rather lick a doorknob than eat a jar of mayo. I would rather not have to sleep than not have to eat. I'd rather fight a 90-year-old than a 10-year-old. And I would rather karate chop other people's food whenever they ate near me than be missing both of my big toes. If anyone was wondering. And if you have any more questions like that, just send them to me. I love it. That was great. That was absolutely excellent. Shout out to LC Money. Lexi, you're the best. Congratulations on your new girl being born in the next few months. We're really excited for that. Your other kids are the best. They're some of the best behaved kids that I've ever met, actually. They're probably my favorite humans on this planet because they're just good people, and good people make for a great day. And we're all trying to just have a great day, one great day at a time. I don't even know. I'm just talking now. I'm probably going to wrap this podcast up. Again, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me make rugs like this or any of the ones behind me. And my animals are going to be on there too. As you'll see, I stream them, my tree frogs, my fish tanks, and whatnot. Hopefully, a new gardening episode coming soon. I've been trying to grow more microgreens, and I recently put some fish in the fish tank garden that you might have seen in my Great Day Gardens video. If you haven't, go to that, check it out. It's cool. It's short, straight to the point. You'll probably enjoy it, honestly. It's one of those, it's like a TikTok. You might learn from it, but if not, you'll just be like, wow, that's kind of cool. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you had a great time here. And I'll see you next time. Peace.